Today we talk to Quentin Henry about his upcoming fight at Knucklemania against Chris the Crippler Leben and being Chris Leben's final opponent. Coming up next.
I'm super excited. I've been getting, a lot of attention from it, I guess. We got some new shirts and stuff like that out, but it's kind of just, it's kind of surreal almost. I've always watched these guys and watched them fighting growing up. And you always, think, I don't know, for me anyways, it was like I always thought there was different, levels to that. And it took me a while to accept, that I am on that level. And now I'm here, and there's just been so many times in my career, I've had opportunities that seemed, as they passed me by, for whatever reason, but the common denominator that I was the reason somewhere along the line, and I'm just doing things right this time, I guess. When the opportunities are coming up, I'm stepping up, taking advantage of them the right way. I guess, I don't know. I'm just good at fist fighting. It's working out. I'm getting super excited, man. I'm still processing it, to be honest with you.
Maybe expand on that, man. You mentioned, for a while you didn't think you were on that level, and now you do. I guess what has changed for you, man? Like, what's changed for you to, I guess, what would you attribute it to? Is it like a self-confidence kind of thing, or?
It's the consistency in my training now, I think, is the biggest part of it. I've gotten, I was a firefighter for 9 years. I loved doing that. That was, I did a lot of stuff, a lot of crazy things doing that job. And, but it wasn't conducive to being an athlete. You get to work out on duty sometimes and, but sleep schedule, things like that, it was just always thrown off. But I left in January and, now I get to be home every night. And I opened a business of mine. I probably work more now than I used to, but, I've got a consistent schedule and, so, I'm not exactly, I'm training as full time as I need to, as somebody can, you can't train for 8 hours a day, but I train every day and, I'm getting rest. I'm eating consistently. I'm staying on my diet consistently. That's the biggest difference that I think, has attributed to that. And, now that my performance, I feel like my confidence and my maturity has caught up, to my natural ability that I had before. And now it's paying off.
Like you said, when we talked to you before the last fight, you were talking about how you were always kind of like you just always been like a naturally gifted athlete, and you self-admittedly you said sometimes you didn't take training as seriously because it just came so natural to you.
I don't know. I mean, you go a lot of times, and I always had confidence issues when I was trying to fight, and then a lot of those issues you don't realize that it's a confidence issue. It's you're making excuses, and really it's that you lack the actual self-confidence in what you're doing. It's because what you're doing is not right. That your preparation isn't right. That you don't really deserve what you're about to go try and accomplish, and when that in the back of your head, you can't perform when you have that self-doubt. And I had a bunch of opportunities. I mean, I've been on I was on a reality show when I was in high school about football players, and, back then when you're a kid, you're like, oh man, I might be famous type of deal, and then I got to be on an MTV show about cage fighters when I was like 20, and I knocked out the main character. I'm talking about decapitated this dude. And, I'm like, this is it. I'm famous now. It's gonna happen. It's gonna take off. I made him famous, bro. He's got like 200,000 followers on Twitter. I got like 500 today. Still, I got like 500. So, I had a lot of things happen like that, and I always looked back and was thinking, I just got screwed. I always, but it was really always something that I did. Whether it was an attitude that I had with somebody, or if it was just I wasn't, there were times, that was a long time ago where I didn't train that serious, and I got wrecked by some dude, and and I deserved it. But that's the biggest thing, is I don't want to take those opportunities for granted anymore. I'm 30. I just turned 31. I'm not going to get that many more of them. I was always the kid in the sport growing up. When I first came around in MMA, I was like 18 years old fighting. I was fighting grown-ups. I thought I was a grown-up, and but I was treated like a kid too. And I don't know. You probably get this because you're an adult, but when there's finally a time where you're hanging out with other adults, and you're like, I'm not the kid anymore. What I mean? Like I'm grown.
Right.
Like that's me now. I finally have accepted that, and and when I go to fights and stuff, because I've always been treated like just the kid in the group, and but that's not the case anymore, and that's really the biggest difference is the hero grew up.
Talk about the moment you got the call. Hey man, you're fucking fighting Chris Leben on the Super Bowl card. Talk about that. Was there ever anybody else in consideration that you know of, or was it always Chris Leben?
That was the first time we had talked to anybody with bkfc. I didn't know what they had planned. I knew there was a bunch of talk about Hector Lombard, but I didn't assume that would happen, because I think there's trying to have people have more fights, I guess, before they have like a legitimate title. I don't know exactly how the stipulations are on that, but there have to be a certain amount of fights in a certain weight class before they can say, okay, we're having a title fight. But I did not expect Chris Leben. Actually, I thought Chris Leben was a 195, which I guess he was 195 before, which I mean, I could fight 195 too. So, but I didn't expect to be on the Super Bowl card either. So that was a shock. And then, because like in my mind, I wasn't fighting in February. Not that I wasn't still training, but I just wasn't fighting in 4 weeks. That wasn't my plan. I just had a fight. They don't need me on the card. They got Paige Van Zandt on there and enough people. So then all of a sudden it was, well, hey, you're fighting Chris Leben. And I'm like, okay, so they're probably going to have me and Chris headline the card in March. Or maybe like they're going to do something like in the Midwest, because, he's from California, and they're going to put it in, later this year and let me and him fight there. And they're like, I'm like, okay, so when? And they were like, February 5th. I said, oh shit, what? And I'm like, okay, well, and they're like, well, you want to do it? And I'm like, well, let me talk to my coaches, because I always let them decide whether I can fight or not. So, and they're like, well, they need to know tonight. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, tell them, yeah, but yeah, I was, so like I went back and I just needed to, process it for a minute. Is really all it was.
Yeah.
It's not like I didn't want to do it or nothing. And so yeah, by that night I was like, well, of course, because Scott and Vince, they were still messaging me. They're like, hey man, I need to answer. I'm like, of course, we're gonna do it. I'm just like, yeah, go ahead and tell them, yeah, or whatever. There's no way. Yeah. But yeah, man, now I'm super excited about it. It'll be it's a big deal. You finally get to fight. This is an opponent that makes me legitimate. And I say that with no disrespect to my past opponents. I fought a lot of tough guys and stuff. But as far as knowing people and things like that, you gotta beat one of those guys before you get to be in the rankings like that. You don't just get to, because you're ranked number 2 in the world, you don't get to be in the clique. So that's a different level of warrior, I guess. So it's my coming out party in that sense.
I guess too, in terms of confidence, I'd have to imagine on your end, there has to be some type of it's got to feel good that BKFC, I guess they obviously have to have some type of confidence in you to put you in that spot, to face Chris Leben, because like I said, Leben's talking about it's his last match. I don't know. He
Right.
seems pretty serious about it, but you know, to put you in that spot on such a big card, that's got to feel pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. You know, and then you know, because before I was like, they don't want me on the Super Bowl card, like they don't need me for that. And then, you know, I think it has a lot to do with you know, has a lot to do with Chris, more so than me. But I think having me as an opponent for Chris makes it even more exciting. You know, because you know he's the kind of guy you want to watch fight me. You know what I mean? Like I've had like a war with Bubba. You know, I mean, Bubba and Chris are very similar in the sense that they can take some shots and stick around and still give them. You know, so you know that just makes for exciting fights. They know I'm not going to run. You know, and they know he's not going to run. So you know, it's just it's a banger, man. It just makes sense.
How do you see this game plan going down, man? Because you know, wow, like you said, you're going to keep coming forward. He's going to keep coming forward, and you guys are going to have to collide in the middle. You know, what's going to happen?
Well, you know, my fight that I had with Bubba, it was more. I had more of that style. The fight I had a couple weeks ago, I wasn't just attacking. I fought smart. I was using my reach. You know, I don't just typically when I got my head about me, you know, I typically don't just bull rush and go after it. You know, maybe if I feel that, you know, I've got them hurt or something. But for the most part, I'm pretty technical about where I'm going, cutting angles. But the difference is I'm not running. You know, I'm still wherever I'm at, I'm still going to be able to hit you as you're coming forward. So, you know, y'all hadn't even got to see what I can do yet. And that's really what I guess one of the things has made me think like, well, they didn't even really get to see what I can do in the last fight. Why would they want me, you know, put up at the next fight? Because I wasn't. I'm glad I liked what I did because I did exactly what I thought I was going to do. I just thought I was going to do it in a little more devastating fashion. But you know, I hit pretty hard and the hit dropped him, you know, so, but this is going to make for a good fight, you know, because Chris Leben's not one of those guys that's going to stop. You have to hurt him and like, you got to put him out for them to stop the fight, or for him to not get back up. You know, if you give him 8 seconds, he can get up. I don't know, just about anybody really. He's just that tough of a guy. So you got to put him down. You can't just hit him on top of the head and have him kind of rocked or whatever, because he's going to run through that. You have to hit him on the button. That's it.
Being that Chris is so just, I think Chris is just so generally well respected across the board. You know, with the guys in the back and the fans. You know, he's one of those guys. He's just been a constant. You know,
Right.
in the fight game. Is that something, because we've seen it before when, you know, a younger fighter takes on one of these legends, I guess we can use that term with Chris. I think it's appropriate. Right. You know, one of these fight legends. Do you think it'll be an issue to where maybe, you know, I'm sure you're a fan. I'm sure you've seen, you know, a lot of the stuff. Is it going to be like, are you going to respect him maybe too much to where it may hold you back, or you think that'll be any kind of an issue?
No. Really, it would be disrespectful for him for me to hold back, because I know that's not what he would want. You know, and that's one of the things he chose. He's Chris Leben. He could have fought anybody for his retirement fight. You know, he could have told him anybody he wanted, but he told him he wanted me. And that just means, you know, he wants to go out the right way, you know, and, you know, some people look at it as like a disrespectful thing, but that's not, you know, those people aren't warriors. That's not what they understand. You know, if I would pick a guy, you know, if it's like, oh, this is my last fight, I'm like, all right, who's the baddest dude out there? That's who I want, because if I'm going to lose, it's going to be to the baddest dude out there. And, you know, I'm not going to go in there for some cake fight on my last fight. I want to go out there on my shield if I have to. And if I win, I want it to be the biggest win of my life. And, So that's what he wants, and that's what I want to give him, So whether I knock him out or he knocks me out or we beat the shit out of each other for 6 rounds or whatever happens, I'm here to dance. I'm here to be the partner in that. If he wants a glorious death, and I guess they say in 300,
yeah,
I'm here for it, man. I'll take mine. You can take yours.
I did you see the? I'm sure you did. What the body bag post he put about? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I said I'm 6'1". I guess that one's for him. I don't know. I've actually put a lot of people in body bags. They come in 2 sizes, kids and adults. So, they got a one size fit all kind of thing. So, I can probably pick a couple up, if we need one. But, that's cool. I mainly, the first thought I had was, hey, what? Somebody paying attention? Like, Chris Leben's talking shit about me. Me. I'm like, that's pretty cool, I'm still looking at it more like a fan. It doesn't make me mad. I kind of laugh about it. I'm like, yeah, nice. Like, I don't know. It's like when you're the little brother, and I was my whole life, and then they finally like start picking on you, but that's okay because they're finally at least including you in the group. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's pretty nice.
Well, what do you see, as it gets closer to fight week? Because you've always seemed like a pretty respectful dude. You're not a big trash talker,
Right.
but like, come fight week and adrenaline's pumping and you're starting to get excited for the fight and you could feel it. You can feel the momentum. Do you think, because it's Chris Leben, like, do you think I'm gonna talk a little shit to Chris Leben? Why not? Or are you going to keep it kind
of? I'm not. See, that's the difference in me and a lot of guys, and I think that's why I resonate with a lot of my fans is because I'm just a normal dude, and
right.
And I'm the American hero, but it's not like I've got superpowers. I'm just a normal American, And, I think that kind of. I don't know. I'm not an actor, So, I get into my zone when I'm at the fights and I'm enjoying it. So, I'm kind of in a different personality when I'm there. But as far as, as far as like aggressive shit talking, I'm more like passive aggressive type of shit talker, So, but I just like to be cool. The last thing somebody wants to do is piss me off. Because I fight pretty good when I'm just in the gym, but when I'm mad, it's not good. The last dude handed me those coins at the weigh-ins like he was going to punk me, and I'm not okay with that. And at first, I was just thankful that this dude took the fight. I knew he hadn't had a lot of wins and stuff, and I was like, and then he handed me some coins and said, this is for the boatman. Talking about for the River of Styx, like he's about to kill me. I'm like, oh, okay. I was being cool, and you wanted to hand me some coins like I was dumb and didn't know what you were talking about. But I read that book, so I'm about to hurt you. So that's why, he shouldn't have gave me that little extra motivation. Not that I needed it, but when people piss me off, it's not the good thing to do. So. I don't know. I'm just here, man. I'm going to be funny. I'm going to say my things. I'm going to say whatever I'm thinking, but I don't know if it'll be shit talk or what, but I'll think it's funny. I don't know if anybody else laughed.
Can we also talk about, because I marked out for this, and I know a lot of people did too, the Hulk Hogan theme song, bro. What how did that, like, how did that happen? Okay,
well, I wanted to come out. That was one of my songs I was thinking about coming out to anyway. And then we went with they wanted me to come out with the like Apollo Creed, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool, I can do that. And then they wanted me to do the James Brown song, and like he comes out to go to America, or whatever
from Rocky IV.
Yeah. But then he dies after that for one. I don't want that shit to happen. And then, and I'm like, I can't dance, nothing against James Brown or, no disrespect, but it would be disrespectful to that song if I were to come out and dance. And I said, and not dance, or
Mm.
if I danced, it would just be even worse. So I said, that's not really my vibe. I was like, but I'm jacked and Hulk Hogan.
Mm.
I'm like, let's do Real American from Hulk Hogan. And they agreed. We went with it. That's what I told them. They were like, I don't know. I was like, look, man, it's a fact. It's proven that if you don't get an erection when you hear The Real American by Hulk Hogan, you need to get your testosterone checked. That's the first sign of low T. So,
my
and
only
they thought
critique.
that was all they needed. They were like, oh, okay, yeah, of course. That's on, Britannica. We can look that up, and we're good.
My only critique was that when you got to the end of the ramp, you didn't do the rip the shirt thing. I'm like, please
Right.
do it, please do it. And I was waiting for you to do it, and then maybe like
Right. See, I should have practiced.
Dude, you got to do
Well,
it.
see, I kind of still
You
want
got
it
to
to
do the
be.
shirt rip against
I
Leben.
kind of still want it to be my own thing, So, I'm kind of an influence of all that. I grew up watching Rocky and, wrestling, Hulk Hogan. We all, Macho Man, Ricky Savage. I mean, I'm all those guys put together, So I don't have to just pick one. I can just, be a blend and then throw a little mullet in there, little hero.
Are you going to do the Hulk Hogan theme again? Do you think for this one?
I don't know what the plan is. It depends. I'm working on getting my shorts approved for the next fight. It depends on what shorts I get to wear and all that. So, we'll see. We'll see. Might be a surprise for me too. You never know. Sometimes they like to get involved with it. I think last time they bought some flags and stuff for people out in the crowd and all, so that was pretty cool.
Well, and I guess last but certainly not least, what are you calling it, man? Like, what for this fight? Are you thinking it's gonna be a quick like your last one, or?
I don't ever plan to fight past one round. It can happen at any time, but Chris is one of those guys that you just can't ever say, how many times, my biggest worry is breaking my hands, to be honest with you. And that's something you got to worry about in this sport. But, I don't like to bet or gamble on it. But I don't ever plan to make it out of the first round. I'm always looking for a first round knockout, and I definitely know I can do it.
Well, you heard it here first. Well, any shout outs to any sponsors, man?
Veteran Farms, Goat Combat Agency, my managers, Hero Fitness Academy. What? That's my gym. See my N? I'll leave it like that. Right. We don't, right. Then who else do I got? Sponsors. My wife, Aubrey D, my daughter, Thomas, Mason, Dad, and Premier Chiropractic. They're taking care of me, getting me set up. And I'm sure I'm missing somebody. We have a hero shop. Oh, America Bourbon. That's right. I don't have a bottle. They were closed yesterday or today for New Year's Day. But America Bourbon is on the team. Heroes Old Fashioned Mix. What? I'm coming out with my own old fashioned mix. I got to hook you up with some, bro. So good. I got my labels coming out. You can see it on my Instagram. And then I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, I've got a merch shop up now.
I saw that.
Teespring. It's on my Instagram. You can get some t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, all kind of stuff. So everybody get their merch.
We'll put it. I'll put it in the link for the video. I'll put it in the link for the video so people can check it out. And real quick too, man, being that it's New Year's Day, New Year's resolution.
Oh, I'm getting me a belt. I'm getting me two.
Two
this year. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
205, and what other weight class? You're going to go back up to heavyweight, or are you going to go down?
I can make 95. So, we'll see where they run after I get that first one.
Well, brother, Happy New Year. I appreciate the time, man, especially today. And, man, good luck against Chris Leben. I can't fucking wait, dude.
And here's the thing, here's one of the biggest things about fighting Chris Leben. There ain't no shame in losing to Chris Leben.
None.
I ain't got nothing to lose. And that's
Zero.
Like, people are like, how do you feel about it? I'm like, I ain't nervous at all. Like, how many people has Chris Leben knocked out? A bunch. They're like, shit, I don't care. How many people knocked him out? Not that many. Would I get the opportunity? You know, man. So shit. That's the thing. He's the name. I'm the nobody. I ain't got nothing to lose here. This is his retirement fight. I got plenty more fights than me. I'm just going out here to put on a show, man. I'm excited. Love it.
Well, I can't wait, brother. And like I said, I appreciate your time, my man. And that's all I got for you, brother.
Hero out.